Press conferences are usually calm mind games, but this one exploded into unexpected chaos that shocked everyone watching.
Reminds me of like one of those budget YouTube hood movies where someone just talks about their whole life and what they've come from and talking as if they're from one of the ghettos in Iraq or Africa or somewhere like that. But, you know, he's got a sob story, he's running by it, and that's what makes him feel better. So we respect it. I just kind of listened and said my piece.
And you said to him, what have you done? Tell us what you've done.
Because as I said, like, you line up all the heavyweights. He was just talking about, oh, he's this, he's that, he's that. I said, but why are you worrying about what someone else has done? What have you done as a fighter to kind of boost your ego up? But he couldn't answer it because he ain't fought no.
Jake Paul showed up with his trademark grin, pushing boundaries and testing patience, until Anthony Joshua finally rose, clearly done with the online antics. In seconds, AJ closed the distance, focused and serious, making it clear that this isn't playful influencer content. This is heavyweight territory and respect.
If I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna break his face, I'm gonna break his body up, I'm gonna stomp all over him. That's my mentality, right? That's a fighter's mentality, and I know what's in my heart, I know what's in my mind, and I'm here to compete. I'm here to prove myself that I'm the better fighter, so I'm looking forward to it, and I'll do that until I finish fighting, no matter who it is.
It didn't matter when or where AJ made it clear they were going to settle things. His reaction snapped the whole room into silence as tension filled the space, suddenly making it feel too small for both of them. Security rushed in while voices clashed and cameras shook to capture what felt like the unofficial start fight. In that moment, one thing stood out. Jake Paul might have treated it like another promo move, but AJ turned it into something real, personal, and impossible to ignore.
Netflix have spent a lot of money, MVP have spent a lot of money, and Jake would look like a plonker if he pulled out the fight now after giving it the big one. And he knows that, and this fight's happening. You know, and that they think, look, one thing I'll say is this. If there was ever a good time to fight Anthony Joshua, it's probably now. Right? Coming out of what will be 14 months of inactivity. By the way, he's also been in training camp for 4 weeks or 5 weeks, the time comes around. He's having to make weight. Maybe the confidence isn't where it has been in his career. So yeah, you could.
Sliding out of the press conference madness, we suddenly step into pure Teddy Atlas mode. It feels like we're at the boxing family dinner table, while Uncle Teddy is serving blunt honesty with every dish. And when a legend like Teddy drops a line like, don't be surprised if Jake Paul actually has a real shot, you almost spit out your drink.
Before we look at all the reasons why Joshua should smash him, he's a pro fighter, two-time Olympian, two-time heavyweight champ, you know, bigger, stronger, highest level of fighting at this weight class. I mean, he should destroy him like he destroyed Ngannou. And a lot of people will use that comparison. But styles make fights. And Jake Paul's not going to fight him all the way.
Teddy breaks everything down like he's analyzing a mystery. He points out Jake is younger, quicker, and sharp with those contract details. Meanwhile, Joshua hasn't been active, trimming down like he's prepping for a photo shoot. And no one's sure which version of him shows up on fight night. Teddy basically hands us a checklist the internet ignores. And honestly, in Jake Paul world, even making it through 8 rounds without falling apart could be treated like a massive victory.
I know he's not at that level of a fighter, I get it, but his feet are faster. Joshua's feet are not that fast, closing gaps, getting to somebody. To hit him, even if you're better than him, you still got to get to him to hit him. Also, Joshua, last time he fought was over a year. He hasn't fought. He was basically retired. Where's his mind?
Throws in Netflix's lawyers like they're the last line of defense for humanity, insisting they won't greenlight a live broadcast catastrophe. And suddenly you meet everyone watching is thinking weight is Teddy Atlas, actually saying this upset isn't that crazy. That's the moment the whole thing stops feeling like a circus and starts looking like a weird science experiment one that maybe we shouldn't laugh at too quickly.
I'm just putting it out there that before you just say, yeah, it's got to be Joshua, don't discount how smart Mr. Paul has been so far. I wouldn't count him out in the ways.
Sliding right out of Teddy Atlas, turning the Jake Paul versus AJ circus into a psychological thriller, we land on Dave Allen, who's talking like a bartender that's heard too many crazy stories to trust anything anymore. He's staring at BoxRec, like at a crime scene file, rechecking Jake Paul's opponents just to confirm his eyes aren't messing with him. And honestly, you and I are right there with him nodding along, because this matchup really does feel like someone smashed a randomizer button on the entire sport.
I reckon this kid, Jake Paul, could win an area title, definitely. I really think he could. He trains hard. I respect all of that. I respect him for what he's doing. Brilliant. He's having a go. Amazing. But he's now fighting arguably a top heavyweight of the last 10, 15 years. One, it's dangerous. We're talking like it's a real fight. The whole thing I've been doing right now is based on it's a real fight. They're both going to try and flatten each other.
Dave starts rattling off Jake for Zoom like he's reading a comedy menu. YouTuber check. Basketball player check. MMA veterans from the pre-TikTok era check. Then he reaches Tommy Fury. Good kid, solid fighter, but area level at best, and even my coffee stops mid-sip. Allen still gives Jake his respect, a top 3 heavyweight of the last 15 years, going up against a guy who used to weigh 13 stone fighting influencers. Even basic logic is tapping out. And then Dave Allen does what every honest boxing mind eventually does. He says the quiet part out loud. This isn't funny. It's risky. Heavyweight level risky.
Dangerous. He's not a heavyweight, he's a cruiserweight, if that. Turned pro at 13-2. And he wasn't a kid, he was 23 years of age. He wasn't a kid, he's not grown into heavyweight. He boxed us 5 months ago at 14-3. Might cut a bit of weight, might come down from 15 stone, but it's dangerous, really. It's dangerous, very dangerous, because if Anthony Joshua hits him on the chin, he will put him to sleep.
The moment AJ lands something solid, Jake might start wondering why the sky suddenly has extra lights. And Dave isn't being spiteful. He actually hopes for the safest outcome possible. AJ scores a clean knockdown. Jake gets up at the count. Everyone makes their money, and nobody ends the night in danger. But then he brings up the real worry. What if AJ genuinely overwhelms him? What does that mean for the sanctioning bodies, the promoters, the sport itself? And as he's talking, we all get that same uneasy smile, because the joke stopped once heavyweight power meets cruiserweight ambition. Dave sums it up perfectly. He'll watch it the way you watch a stunt that's exciting, but
the intrigue is there to watch it for me. Yeah, I will watch it the same way I would go to the circus to watch, to be entertained by something a bit mad. But Anthony Joshua, for taking the fight, I'm not sure. It's a lot of money to turn down, to be fair. But if Anthony Joshua goes in there with Jake Paul, plays nicely, wins on points, takes longer than 2 or 3 rounds, reputation with the casual public done. I'll watch it. If he's holding her up and playing nicely, I'll understand. I'll watch it and think, well, he could have stopped.
Sliding out of Dave Allen, who just broke down AJ versus Jake like he was grading a theme park safety manual, we drop straight into Steve. Give it the guy who's actually been in Jake Paul's camp eating jabs for breakfast and watching this whole saga develop from ringside distance. And Steve talks like that one friend who goes, yeah, bro, it's wild, but hear me out while casually holding a parachute. He says Jake's mentality is the real plot twist. The guy truly believes he can beat Anthony Joshua. And honestly, that stubborn confidence is half the reason this matchup even exists. Steve's basically saying Jake has been itching to show he has levels, to prove he's more than a YouTuber with a big right hand, but the business kept throwing him ex-NBA players and semi-retired MMA names.
From Olympic gold medal to now a 2-time undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. So I think as far as him taking this fight, if anybody deserves to go and have a fun fight like this, it is Anthony Joshua. And Jake, you know, he is kind of showing that he'll fight anyone.
Now Jake finally gets to unleash his full arsenal against a man who hits like a runaway fridge. It's like skipping driving lessons and jumping straight into Formula One impressive, but terrifying. And Steve is nodding along like, yep, let's see how this plays out. Then the interviewer drops the classic UK. Debate is AJ Chinny. Steve reacts like someone just insulted his grandma's cooking. He lays out perfectly heavyweight punches aren't love taps, they're meteor strikes. Ruiz do Boys Klitschko. Those guys could floor anyone. And when asked if Jake has the power to hurt AJ, Steve switches to scientist mode. Speed equals power. Translation: danger doesn't always show up with a cape. Sometimes it sneaks in with Nike footwork and
Why is he chaining? Because he got stopped by Daniel Dubois and Ruiz. I mean, listen, this is a contact sport, you know. Like if you get hit, the human body's not made to be getting punched in the face. If you get hit, especially by these guys, Andy Ruiz, who's a good puncher, Dubois, we know is a big puncher. You get hit clean, you're gonna go. You're possibly gonna go down. Especially those guys, 230, 40, 50-pound guys.
He says Jake is quick, sharp, unpredictable, but he's also clear Joshua isn't here to play patty cake. The man's preparing for Tyson Fury next, and Jake's barging in like a wild card villain. So the real question isn't can Jake land a punch? It's can he survive? What comes back? That suspense is exactly why we're counting the days like kids waiting for a roller coaster drop. This AJ versus Jake Paul saga feels part blockbuster, part science experiment. Joshua turned the press conference into round zero training, like a king sharpening his crown, while Jake rewrites the script with audacious confidence and heavyweight sparring partners. Teddy Atlas warns not to overlook the sneaky variables. Dave Allen calls it entertaining, but genuinely risky. And Steve Gifford sums it up: Jake's mentality plus speed could make this way crazier than...
But I would imagine he's going to come. He's going to be on his P's and Q's. He knows there'll be a lot of eyes on him for this fight, so he's going to be looking to make a statement, because I think they have plans of him fighting Tyson Fury next. So I think he's going to take this very seriously, and Jake's definitely taking it very seriously, and he's going to try to...
At the end of the day, if AJ shows up locked in it, could be lights out fast. But if Jake hangs in there and makes us all raise an eyebrow, we might be witnessing one of the most polarizing upsets boxing has ever seen. Drop your predictions in the comments. Who takes a how long does it last? And is there any world where Jake pulls it off? And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to BW Today. Catch you in the next one.